Let's talk about Elon Musk. He's the richest person in the world, and that might be some of the reason why so many people, certainly in this country, seem to hate him, including our government, including our Prime Minister.
Does Elon hate the new Labour government, or is he just against Starmer specifically? Elon Musk launched a rocket of truth and slammed Starmer for being an incompetent leader. In a move that made Musk a permanent enemy of the Labour Party, Starmer is left seething in shambles. His best response was a stuttering mess while Elon laughed at him. What did Elon say that had the entire Labour Party and Starmer throwing a temper tantrum? Well, nothing but the truth. Starmer's never been good at handling the truth, and they might be completely boycotting Elon Musk for his words. Can this government get any more petty? Elon Musk completely exposed Starmer to be an utter disaster for the United Kingdom, and it's not looking well for our reputation.
An almighty war of words has broken out between Elon Musk and the Prime Minister, Kier Starmer, after Musk claimed on Monday that the violent riots sweeping the UK meant that, quote, civil war is inevitable. So the Prime Minister slammed the comments, claiming there was no justification for it.
A few tweets were all it took to hurt Starmer's fragile ego so badly that he's still upset about it. And was Elon wrong? The two-tier policing system under Starmer is something undeniable, and we only see more proof as time goes on. Not only did Musk make a fool of Starmer, he revealed some shocking truths about the identity politics that are going on behind closed doors in our government. More and more people agree with Elon Musk's tweets, and the Labour government hates him for it. Despite all that, why does Elon continue to call them out? Well, the answer might be something Elon's father revealed in an interview, something so insulting for Starmer's gang that they've got no defense for it.
After hundreds of Muslim men violently attacked a pub and an individual man in Birmingham last night, Musk today took to the social media platform to ask the Prime Minister why aren't all communities protected in Britain. He went on to brand Starmer two-tier Kier. So tonight I'm asking, who is telling the truth about what's really going on our street? Is it Elon Musk? Or is it Kier Starmer?
The pub attack incident is not a rare, cherry-picked issue. Things of this sort have been going on for a while, and there has been no effort from Starmer to address it. And then he has the audacity to get mad over being called incompetent. Starmer, on multiple occasions, has talked about wanting to protect all communities equally, but, according to Elon, the reality is the exact opposite. Some of the Liberal supporters have tried to defend Starmer, and it only sounds more ridiculous. Really, you wouldn't believe the nonsense they argue. So, who's the liar here? The world's most successful man, or our beloved two-tier Sir Kier?
But he is correct when he calls Kier two-tier Kier. Without a shadow of a doubt, we have got a two-tier policing system and have had a two-tier policing system for many, many years. The reason that Fair Cop exists is to expose and to challenge this two-tier policing system. All of it is based upon one form or another of identity politics, be that race, be that religion, be that sexual orientation, or be that gender.
Many people agree with Musk, and even more are being convinced every day. The problem of identity politics has plagued out politics for quite some time, and people are fed up with it. These people try to make the choice between giving special preference to certain groups and freedom of speech. In the end, they end up making the wrong decision. Apparently, stopping people from being meanies on the internet is more important for them than actual transparent justice. Elon Musk champions free speech, and it is more useful than you can imagine. No, really, it is the only thing protecting your freedom. People who are against Elon Musk for his comments continue to bring the most incoherent arguments just to defend Kier Starmer, and it's not a good look.
When was the last time he went to one of the places where some mosques have been attacked? His intervention just shows that he doesn't have the political knowledge of Britain. And Kier Starmer is right. Kier Starmer is right because he understands that there are certain communities that are under threat right now from rioters, from far-right thugs, and he's speaking the will of the British public.
You don't need a degree to call out hypocrisy. Many more liberals have parroted the same points that Elon doesn't understand what's going on inside Britain, but does he really need to? It should be obvious that protecting extremist Muslim riots while cracking down on free speech is completely unjustifiable. What else is there to understand about the matter? Starmer's supporters continue to come up with out-of-touch reasons to hate on Elon and Twitter. They think Twitter is just an evil place for hatred and refuse to see the value in it, simply because people are mean to them online. Could this snowflake generation get any worse? It's not just the supporters who hate Twitter, the liberal elites have a hidden agenda as well, which is why they're trying to get it banned.
is a great voice for the marketplace. The reason that the liberal elite don't like it is because it gives the lumpen proletariats, the demos, the ordinary working class person, a voice in the nation. And that's why they don't like it, in all honesty. It's not that it's particularly dangerous, because there is as much truth to be found on Twitter as there is falsehood. That is the nature of a marketplace.
Elon has argued many times that the best way to control a population is to take away their freedom of speech, which is why he is completely against censorship. Naturally, this doesn't sit well with Starmer and his minions who want to do whatever they want. The best part is, they're fighting among themselves. One day, a liberal minister says something and it's immediately contradicted by another. They don't have a single voice, and according to Elon Musk, it only goes to show how incompetent Starmer is as a leader.
It's totally wrong. But here's what Elon Musk does. He brought back some of the people that were previously banned on Twitter. I myself have been subjected to far more xenophobia, racism and Islamophobia on Twitter compared to the previous ownership of the platform. The things he does not have a degree in British politics. He does not understand British politics. He's sitting at his keyboard typing away a few things, adding fuel to the fire. He just doesn't understand it.
Do you think that's a good enough reason to take away your freedom of speech? Of course, Elon doesn't condone hateful speech or inciting violence, but that shouldn't mean that these platforms should be banned. What's worse is that liberals all across the country are trying to blame the riots on Elon Musk. They think he's responsible for somehow inciting the violence and should be held accountable. Really? Why not hold Starmer accountable for ruining the country with his lack of unity and leadership?
Being policed on a two-tier basis. This is the question of the day. It's one to which the government is giving a confused answer. Yet it is a fundamental and ancient constitutional principle that the government speaks with one voice. This is known as collective responsibility. Ministers may not freelance, and what one minister says must be the position of the government, or else the statement must be corrected or the minister resign.
Not long ago, we in the United Kingdom used to take accountability very seriously. Those ministers who were spouting nonsense were made to resign, and rightfully so. What right does this government have to bash Elon when they themselves can't even unite under the same ideas? And as if Starmer wasn't weak enough, he practically endorsed liberal riots by supporting them during the Black Lives Matter riots. Frankly, it's hard to believe that he became Prime Minister after doing something so stupid. Where this entire mess goes off the rails is when the government tried to justify these riots, basically telling people that they're weak. Is Musk really wrong to point out that simple fact?
Free Palestine. Easier.
But I think, apologies for the language you're hearing, but a sense of the anger, I think you can hear there.
Yeah, Katie, I think Becky...
Remember for a moment that the government speaks with one voice. Jess Phillip, a minister in the Home Office, which is the department responsible for policing, and, has to be said, a thoroughly good egg, had this to say. These people came to this location because it has been spread that racists were coming to attack them.
It's not just one minister either. Even Starmer himself was passively endorsing this stuff. Take for example when he took the knee to declare his sympathies for the Black Lives Matter riots that spiraled out of control. Making excuses for such violence is horrible as it is, but it's worse when the entire Labour Party selectively goes soft on left-wing riots while cracking down on everyone who disagrees with them. This was the two-tier policing system that Musk exposed.
This two-tier double standard mentality goes right back to Sir Kier's response to the Black Lives Matter riots. Less than 48 hours after a riot culminated in the pulling down of the statue of Edward Colston, which was then dumped into Bristol Harbour, the then leader of the opposition took the knee with Angela Rayner. This was an acceptance that rioting and violence can be justified and that weak, namby-pamby policing is all right.
Is Elon Musk really wrong to call a Starmer a weak leader now? Imagine a bunch of people causing unrest in your nation, putting lives at risk, and you get on your knees to show solidarity. It's one thing to support a peaceful message, but the timing of this just doesn't add up. And what happened when Elon slammed Starmer for his behavior? He couldn't even give a direct response. Really, the Prime Minister gave wishy-washy answers to deflect. Why would anyone consider him a good leader when he can't even defend his actions? Not just that, Starmer has failed to answer any questions at all. If there really was no two-tier policing, Starmer would have proved it through transparency and honesty. He knows he's wrong, and now he and his Labour gang are taking petty revenge on Elon Musk.
And has made people feel that the police take some instances of violence more seriously. And here I think we agree that they should treat them all the same.
Absolutely.
Where we disagree is that you think there's no evidence for two-tier policing, and I think that it is a matter we should be concerned about and that we need proper reassurance from the government and indeed from the police. It's why I think Sir Mark Rayleigh really ought to stand in front of journalists and answer questions.
Musk agrees that acts of violence must be condemned. He himself condemns them, but the reason he slammed Starmer was one of hypocrisy. British people have genuine concerns over illegal immigrants and the surge in crime rates. Starmer dismisses those concerns, and that only fuels more resentment. No wonder his approval ratings are in the gutter. When confronted by a reporter about Elon Musk's tweets, Starmer completely shut down on the spot. In the end, he avoided answering the question.
In the UK is inevitable. He is a powerful voice. A lot of people follow him on Twitter. Are you worried about his impact, or might he have a point about some of the things he's saying?
My focus is on ensuring that our communities are safe. That is my sole focus. And I think it's very important for us all to support the police in what they're doing.
A leader who can't even defend his own policies is no leader at all. Elon Musk expressed concerns over Starmer's failure to do anything about the growing rates of illegal immigration and knife crime, both of which have been shown to be linked together. You wouldn't believe what Starmer did after this global humiliation. What's hilarious is that despite Starmer's petty actions, Musk couldn't care less about him and his useless Labour Party. Elon's tweets came in light of the tragic Southport stabbing incident, and during the same time, there were extreme Islamic riots going on. The difference in how those two incidents were tackled was the pain problem.
We can finish on and agree on is that it is bizarre and wicked as a response to the brutal murder of children to start hitting policemen. Just completely not understandable to any law-abiding citizen.
Absolutely, and I mean, whether it's throwing bricks at policemen or burning down shops or anything like that, this sort of disorder is just awful to see and it has to stop.
Thank you very much, Andy. Well,
if Starmer had held both of those appalling incidents in the same regard and ensured proper justice in both cases, he would have been praised globally. Sadly, that's far from the truth, and though nobody tries to justify the violence, Starmer is soft on crime depending on who commits it. Elon made a mockery of Starmer, and the whole world watched the shameful truth be exposed. Naturally, Starmer hates Elon Musk, and Elon's father had some very harsh words to say about Starmer.
Let's talk about Elon Musk. He's the richest person in the world, and that might be some of the reason why so many people, certainly in this country, seem to hate him, including our government, including our Prime Minister. He was pointedly not invited to a business investment conference last week, which was supposed to stimulate investment in this country.
The business conference was a great initiative by this struggling government. You could say that they're so desperate for investment that this move was absolutely necessary to somehow save the economy. But imagine this. Starmer hosted this conference to bring potential investors to the UK and didn't invite the world's richest man. Is that jealousy and hatred, or just pure stupidity? Well, Elon's father has the answer for that, and Starmer won't want to hear it. This isn't just about Starmer. A lot of people in Britain seem to hate Elon Musk, and nobody is sure why.
The rest of us, I don't hate him, but in this country, in Britain, millions of people seem to. Why is that, do you think, Errol?
Well, I don't think that's true at all. I think
well, it is true, trust me, it is true.
Well, you know, there's two species of people. You know, there's the useless people, the can't do anything people, and then there's the people who can. So all the can do people, they are much in favor of Elon. The people who can't do anything, they are the people who don't like him.
Competence and incompetence is a common theme here. Those who know how to get work done and are successful seem to love Elon. Meanwhile, the lazy and useless people, Starmer being one of them, absolutely hates him. Perhaps this is why he didn't invite Elon to the conference. But it doesn't end there. Elon has publicly criticized many more of Starmer's policies. Take, for example, his decision to release prisoners early, a complete mockery of the British justice system. Needless to say, both Elon and his father completely ripped into Starmer for that nonsensical policy.
Our Prime Minister, and indeed our government, did not invite arguably the most successful businessman on the face of the planet. That's your son. What did you think about that? What did you think about that?
Well, it's just plain stupid. You know, plain stupid. Stupid. Stupid decision. Stupid decision. You know, what else can you say? You know, small people behaving in a small way,
Starmer and the Labour Party seem to love being humiliated. As if it wasn't enough to be slammed publicly by Elon Musk, they had to get insulted by his father too. But why would you make enemies with Elon and his family over your own lack of leadership? Starmer had the chance to be mature and show the world that he can be a visionary leader by letting all this go and foster positive global relations. But no, Sir Kier has a knack for taking plain stupid decisions. As Elon's father said, small decisions by small people. Do they think Elon cares about any of it? It's fair to say that the world's richest man doesn't lose sleep over what Starmer thinks of him. If anything, this is a net loss for Britain and its economy.
Well, you know, I mean, releasing prisoners, people who've convicted of crimes, and placing people who have every reason to be upset about circumstances in England, and putting them in prison is, you know, it's like going back 400 years. So you've just gone back 400 years of progress. You've just lost 400 years of progress. You're back in the time maybe of Henry VIII or something like that. So, you know, where common sense doesn't rule, idiocy rules.
This isn't the first time Starmer has set Britain back by centuries. It seems that every decision that he takes is bound to blow up in his face. Time and time again, the Labour leader has made a fool out of himself and the world is laughing at us. It is a complete idiocy. What's interesting is that the Musk family holds Britain in very high regard. Musk's father specifically sings England's praises. Maybe that's why he is demanding Starmer's resignation for ruining this great country.
They are nobodies. They are absolutely nobodies. They will be forgotten in a short time. You know, if Starmer had any pride, he would resign. You know, I certainly would if I was him. I would not in issues.
I'm with you there. I'm trying to forget Starmer and his government. Unfortunately, we're stuck with him for the next 4.5 years.
Did the world's richest man and his father just say Starmer should resign? That is enough of an insult to make any self-respecting man reconsider his life choices. But we all know how Starmer is. He takes the knee for rioters and then brings Britain to its knees. No wonder he's getting absolutely humiliated by Elon Musk on the global stage.
England has always been a sort of, became a sort of, you know, a sort of a bastion of leadership for everyone that, you know, you could actually be somebody, you could think, you could talk. You know, all the great people of the past, 50% of them came from England. So, you know, it's a very sad situation that we have now. I urge this Starmer to resign. He doesn't look the part, and none of them look the part, actually.
Starmer has not only made a fool of himself, he's making all of us seem like a joke. In what world is the Prime Minister of Britain regarded as a nobody, and can you even blame people for saying that? Starmer doesn't behave like a British Prime Minister should. As Elon has pointed out, he is a weak leader and is slowly but surely ruining this nation. Elon Musk asking for Starmer's resignation is just cherry on top. Starmer has time and time shown himself to be anti-British, and the people have had enough of his lack of leadership. Maybe we should follow Musk's lead and urge Starmer to resign as well. And the only way to make that happen is by spreading the truth, something you can help in by liking the video and subscribing to the channel.